All right, it's tough for you to see the screen, but it's there, and you can see that I'm on a channel up here. You can see 01A bass. And in order to get into the looper, it even says it right here, hold for a loop. So you hold this down for a couple seconds, watch. And it goes into the looper. And we're going to get a close-up of that in a second. So then when you go to loop, you're just going to hit this to record or dub. You'll start recording your loop. When you've got your loop done, you hit stop, and then your loop will start playing, obviously. And then if you want to add another loop, you can dub. Now you add another one, blah, blah, blah. You get that done, stop, and now both your loops are playing, and on and on. When you hit the undo button or redo, it'll just take off the last one only. You can't go any deeper than that, okay? That's as deep as it'll go. It'll only remove one. The other, if there's 10 of them on there, you'll take off number 10 and 9 will remain, okay? So that's just the way it is. And you can just keep putting it back on and off if you want. If you don't like something, then just, you know, hit clear. If you don't like the whole loop, hit clear and the whole thing's done. Now that loop's gone. It's a really simple looper, but it does the job, and that's how it works. There's a couple things on here. There's pre and post. The easiest way for me to describe pre and post to you is to actually play the looper. But let's take a little bit closer look at the actual screen here. I'm going to crank this down and get it over it, and you'll be able to see it better. It should come into focus. There you go. Okay, so you can see on top, there's the channel that I'm on. I call it bass, and you're going to hear it in a minute. And that'll be what I'll put my line down with to play over. And then, as you can see, you got pre and post here. Now, the way to get to these adjustments is, again, these little buttons down here. So this one's going to determine where you're pre or post. You turn the parameter knob, and I always keep it on post because that way, you'll see in a minute why. You can do it the other way too, though. All right, now to hit the EQ button, you'll be on level, and you can adjust the level depending on, you know, how high you are and how high it is in the mix. You can adjust that. Okay. That's another thing. You won't be able to do that if you're in pre. So post is a good place for it to be. All right, so let's just leave it in post. And there you have it. So when you see the demonstration, you'll see how clear it becomes what each one of those things does. But basically, it puts you before or after all the effects. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate this. So we're going to record, then we'll play, then we'll dub another loop over on top of that, then we'll remove it. And like I said, that's all you can do. You can only delete one layer. You can put a million layers on there, but if you undo, you're only going to do the millionth one. You'll have 999,999 still on there. So I'll just demonstrate this thing, though, just so you can see it in action. Not a great looper, but here we go. Got a little bass sound here for the first layer. So here. It's not bad. That's good enough. I'll switch channels and I'll dub something over it. Something like that. Okay, so here we go. Let's dub. Okay. So we'll just play it. So now you're playing your gig and you're like... And that stupid last one's in the way, so get rid of it. And there you go, so you can play over that. And that's it, so you can only get rid of the last one. You can get rid of this one, you can put it back in, I mean, so... But you wouldn't want that, because it sucks. And that's really it. And like I said, you can dub as many of them as you want. I'll put this one back in, and I'll put another one in. But now again, when I undo, it just takes off that last little trill. That's it. You can do it a million times. Again, you can only take the last one off. Put the other one back in. right, and then when you want to get rid of the whole thing, you just hit clear, and that's it. So there's your looper. That's all it does. It's cool though. I like it. We'll talk about pre and post. Okay, so without even getting too deep into the explanation, I'm just going to explain very simply what pre and post is with the looper. Okay, and I'll demonstrate it. Okay, right now, you just saw me demonstrate it in post. So what happens is when you change channels while the loop's playing, the loop continues to play in the patch that you played the loop in. But here's what happens when you change it to pre. Watch this. Okay, it's in pre. You can't see the screen. I tried a million times. Trust me, it's in pre. All right, so now I'll do that little baseline thingy like that, and we'll do a loop like that. So here we go. Not a bad loop. Okay, now watch what happens when I change the channel and I'm going to like play over it, let's say. See that? Now I can play over on that channel. But they're both in that. And if I go to this channel. So that sucks. I mean, but if you wanted to do it that way, that's fine. But that just shows you what it does. So in other words, what'll happen is it'll be before everything, and the effect that you go to will go through it. But if you put it in post, it'll just maintain the patch that you used when you made the original loop. Okay? Pretty simple, really. That's it.